Hey, Saoirse here with our good friend Waylon, Gary White Deer from the Choctaw Nation. I wanted to talk today a little bit about the Choctaw connection to Ireland. A lot of people didn't know that. Like, I didn't know this until about 30 years ago, and now suddenly in the last 15 years, it's kind of gotten more publicity, and people are knowing about it now because of the statues and the memorials that they have now. But back then, hardly anyone knew about it, and so the way that I met Mr. White Deer here, Gary, was at the Irish Music Festival in Texas in 1990s or something like that. And so they were doing a friendship Ceilidh festival where they were reciprocating with the Choctaw Nation, because during the Great Hunger, it was the Choctaw Nation, after the Trail of Tears, they donated money to Ireland for the Great Hunger. And so President Mary Robinson went to Texas with the Irish Festival, and so did we, and reciprocated in a way. And I don't know all the details of it, but they had a workshop where Waylon was teaching the Choctaw language, and so he taught me some Choctaw, and I taught him some Irish. Can you believe it? So I don't know how much he remembered, but I remembered two things that were real important, and that was Halito, so Halito.
Well, how do you tell there, Saoirse?
And Chim Achukma.
Yeah, I'm doing fine. I think I'm all right.
Achukma Hoke.
Chuma okay, yeah, very good.
Chisanato.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all I remember mostly. But I do remember two other things, is that a lot of people know three Choctaw words that they don't realize that they know worldwide, and one of them worldwide for sure, and that is the state of Oklahoma is a Choctaw word, and it's if I remember right, it's Okla Api Homa.
Yeah, that's very good. Okla Api Homa was the way it was supposed to be named originally, but they dropped the middle part. But yeah, that's very good. Very good.
So anyway, and then the other word, which I learned through Cherokee, and was kind of interesting, is because I had a lot of friends that were Cherokee, and I had worked with the Cherokee Nation in Tahlequah back in the day, and also in Tulsa. And that was that when you say a word in Cherokee, and you want to emphasize something, like you say osta, osiyo, dohitsu, like how are you, and you say osta, and you're really doing good, then you say ostato. And so, well, in Choctaw, they have a way to do that, and everybody uses it worldwide. It's so cool. So can you tell us about it?
Okay. Yes, I guess it's okay, or hoke means very much so. Okay, they say, is derived from hoke.
Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah.
So you ever wonder, like, what's the deal with okay? What does okay stand for, the letters? It's not it. It's like way back in the day when the Choctaw Nation was helping Andrew Jackson for some strange reason. Anyway, and all his men were down there working with the Choctaw, and the chiefs would all be saying, like, Chata Hanupa Hoke, and stuff like that. And so they okay. And so they went back to Washington, D.C., and it spread all over the world after that. So at least that's a story that I heard.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
So tell us about the Choctaw Nation and the tie with Ireland, and how you got involved, how you came to Ireland, and Donegal for all that matter.
Oh, okay. Well, it really wasn't Choctaw Nation, especially back then. It was just Choctaw people getting together, and the western part of what became Choctaw Nation, but it wasn't an official function of a Choctaw government. The people were around a place called Scullyville, which was an American government outpost probably to get some sort of pay or annuities a little bit from this treaty, this final removal treaty they had signed. And so on that day, there was a group calling themselves the Memphis Committee, who were soliciting money for the victims of the Great Irish Famine. So this would have been in the spring of 1847, referred to as Black 47 in Ireland. And so when the Choctaw people heard of another people who had been treated much the same as they had, evicted in mass numbers, starvation being a great component of that, and being dispossessed from their own land and so forth. There was an echo of their own suffering that went off, and so when they were asked to donate money to buy food for famine Ireland, they all got up and donated everything they had that day, and it amounted to 170 American dollars, which is probably equivalent to 5,000 or 6,000 American dollars today. The money was used to buy food. I heard from a professor at Stonehill College in Boston that the money was used to buy food that was loaded on a ship called the Macedonian, set sail in the spring of 1847 to Dunleary. Then it was called Kingstown, and then it was unloaded, the grain that the Choctaw Nation had bought. So that's kind of the essence of this very, very small story in this very large tapestry of other stories about Angor Tomorrow, or the Great Hunger in Ireland. And so a very good friend of mine, Don Mullen, in 1990 came across this story, and in his capacity as a Afri Action from Ireland humanitarian organization director, and also as a director of Concern Worldwide out of Dublin, also another humanitarian and human rights organization. He pushed the story in the run-up to 1997, which was the 150th commemoration of Black 47 in Ireland, and the first time the Irish government ever recognized or commemorated the Great Hunger. So that's how that story came about, and that's how it got on the Irish radar. And then it continued to grow sort of slowly, but that particular story has roots, I think, because it transcends both Choctaw and Irish.
Right.
And it speaks to just humanity and our better angels. And so as the story was building, there was a sculpture that was commissioned in County Cork, and it's there today, and it's a very lovely sculpture, and it commemorates that donation. And I think after that sculpture was built and dedicated, the story really took off because it had sort of a visual presence then.
Right.
And so it has been growing to this day. And two Irish Taoiseachs have visited the Choctaw people in Oklahoma. One, Mary Robinson, back in the 1990s, and then more recently when Leo Varadkar was Taoiseach, or Prime Minister in Ireland, here about 3 or 4 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. So there's this bond then between the Choctaw and the Irish people based on that small famine link that has been slowly but steadily growing. And now, at least in Ireland, the story is fairly well known, and also among the Choctaw in Oklahoma. And it's becoming known among the Choctaw in Louisiana and also the Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians. The way I got involved with that was, that story was, I was asked to do some artwork for a postcard that would advertise a Trail of Tears commemorative walk. And this commemorative walk was modeled after my friend Don Mullen's work in Ireland when he was doing Irish famine walks. And so they had this walk in the 1990s, and Don got one of these postcards and wanted to know who did the artwork, and it was me. So when he was working for Action from Ireland that year, he, as a director, he had me come over and be an Afri famine walk leader in County Mayo in 1995. So that was the first time I ever came to Ireland, and I've been asked to come back many, many times ever since in an informal capacity to represent that story. So it's not a political story. It doesn't have political ownership, but it occurred between two dispossessed people during a time of great upheaval and suffering among the Irish and the Choctaw. So it's not a Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma story, in terms of a political context, but it's a story that really is quite an ordinary story that we all can share in. And so, in that capacity, yeah, sometimes I do represent, the Choctaw sentiment. Um, so there you go. So that's how the story got started. It was circulated in America. The donation was by Niles Weekly Register and Harper's Bazaar. So it's in print. So it's in archive, and it can be researched, and that's how we know for sure. The date of the donation, who was there, and what the sentiment was.
Well, I remember when I first heard about it was at the North Texas Irish Festival, and when you were doing the workshop, and President Robinson was there, and I couldn't believe it. 1840, so 1846, 1847, Black 47. A.E. Russell's grandmother died during that, and a lot of people. And County Donegal was really hit by that because we had the evictions, the landlord evictions in the 1846, and you just they wouldn't just put people out, even old people and children, they would actually tear down the houses. And some of the landlords, which was from the plantation era in the 1600s, but this is in 1846, but they were clearing the land because it was cheaper. I mean, it was better for economics to raise sheep. Well, cheaper, more valuable than the people. So they're clearing the land of the people that couldn't pay the taxes and just kicking them off the land. And then other landowners, like in Ards, they were clearing it because they just didn't even want to see the riffraff and that. So these people were really suffering, but the Choctaw people had come across the Trail of Tears. There's just like the other nations, Muskogee, Cherokee, Seminole, and Creek. And they were coming over, and they didn't have anything after that. I mean, except what they carried. 17,000 Choctaw people came on that trail, and up to 6,000 died on the way. And then when they get there, it's just woods. This is your perpetual land, the Choctaw reservation. There you go. Just cut the woods down and build something, because there's nothing there, already there. And yet they went and gave that money to Ireland during on Gortamore, the Great Hunger. So it's just an awesome story, and it is a humanitarian story. And I think that the whole world should see it, especially with what's going on today in the world and everything. So anyway, so thanks for sharing that.
Oh, thank you for asking me.
And you're a great artist and a great friend. It was really funny. A couple of years ago, we were coming out of Coffee Galore here in Falcarragh, and I turned around and I saw him sitting there. I hadn't seen him in 20, 30 years or something.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I go oh, there's a Hispanic. And then I go, no, that's a Native American person. Then I looked at another time and I go wait a minute, what's your name? And he said, what did you say? I said, what's your name?
Can't remember. What did I say? I don't know. Waylon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he'd said, Waylon White Deer. And I said, oh, Holly Toe, because I remember the Choctaw that he taught me all those years ago. Mm-hmm. So anyway, it was a splendid to see you again.
Well, thank you.
That our paths come around full circle again like that. Yeah. I mean, that's just amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah, that's just the way it works. So thank you so much.
Well, you're welcome.
So, yakoke.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Shiniga Falls, Slananis.